Hi, dear children. Very happy morning to all. I hope all are fine and safe at home. SBIOA Senior Secondary School, Trichy 7, Class 5, Subject English, Session-2. Today's value: sharing is caring. Topic: An Indian Journey. Part 2. Children, we have learnt the first part of the story in the previous video class. Today, let's learn how Phileas Fogg continues his journey though the train stops at Colby. Let's continue part 2. Passepartout rushed out and speedily returned, crying, "Mansir, no more railway. The train isn't going on." The general stepped out once, and Phileas Fogg calmly followed him. Passepartout, the servant of Phileas Fogg, rushed out and speedily returned, calling Phileas Fogg Mansir. Mansir refers to French word. It means sir. No more railway. He called Phileas Fogg and informed him that there is no railway. The train isn't going on. The train stops here. The general got down from the carriage, and Phileas Fogg calmly followed him. Then they walked up to the conductor together. "Where are we?" asked Sir Francis. Sir Francis asked the conductor where they were. "At the village of Colby. Do we stop here?" "Certainly." Actually, Francis was shocked to know, because he did not know the train would stop there. "The railway isn't finished," the conductor replied. "The railway isn't finished. There is still 50 miles to be laid from here to Allahabad, where the line begins again. As the railway isn't finished, Phileas Fogg has to arrange some other conveyance to go from Colby to Allahabad. Actually, there is still 50 miles to be laden from here to Allahabad." Think about that. How can they continue their journey? But the papers announced the opening of railway throughout. The papers were mistaken. "Yet you sell tickets from Bombay to Calcutta," said Sir Francis, who was growing angry. After hearing the words of conductor, Sir Francis got angry and asked how they could sell the tickets if the railway isn't finished. "No doubt," replied the conductor, "but the passengers know that they must find transportation for themselves from Colby to Allahabad." The conductor replied them that the passengers already knew that they had to arrange a transport from Colby to Allahabad. Sir Francis was furious. Sir Francis was very angry. Passepartout would willingly have knocked the conductor down and did not dare to look at Fogg. Passepartout deliberately hit the conductor, and he was not able to look at the face of Phileas Fogg. "Sir Francis," said Mr. Fogg quietly, "we will, if you please, look about for transportation to Allahabad." Phileas Fogg requested Sir Francis, if he can, please go and hire a transportation for Allahabad. It was but too true that the railway came to an end at this point. Most of the travelers were aware of this, and leaving the train, they began to engage such vehicles as they could from the village. Engage means hire. It was true that every passengers, they would know the train would stop here, so that they started moving from here. Mr. Fogg and Sir Francis Cromarty, after searching the village from end to end, came back without having found anything. "I shall go on foot," said Phileas Fogg. Mr. Fogg and Sir Francis Cromarty searched for the vehicle in the village everywhere. They could not find out any transport. So Mr. Phileas Fogg said that he can continue to go on foot. Passepartout, who had just returned, said, "Mansir, I think I have found a means of conveyance, an elephant. Let's go and see the elephant," said Mr. Fogg. Passepartout, just returned, he told Phileas Fogg that He had found a means of transport, that is, an elephant. Mr. Fogg asked Passepartout whether they could go and see the elephant. They soon reached a small hut, near which, within some high palings, was the elephant. Palings means a fence or wall made of wood. The elephant is inside the hut. Mr. Fogg decided to hire him. Mr. Fogg decided to hire the owner of the elephant. However, when Mr. Fogg told the owner that he wished to hire the elephant, the man refused. Phileas Fogg, without getting in the least upset, then offered to buy the animal for £1,000. The owner of the elephant did not accept the request of Phileas Fogg, so Phileas Fogg was ready to offer £1,000, but the man still refused. At £2,000, the man yielded. Yielded means agreed or accept. The man accepted finally for £2,000. It only remained now to find a guide, and at 9 o'clock they finally set out from the village. That is the only source for them to find a guide. At 9 o'clock they finally set out from the village. They continued their journey from the village at 9 o'clock. Okay, my dear children, I hope you have understood the story well. If you are interested to read the entire novel, buy the book Around the World in 80 Days and read the entire novel. Thank you all. Bye bye. Take care.